Good morning and welcome back to B for TV, your daily dose of industry information. Today, Robert Windsor joins us with an update on the planned implementation of the EU entry-exit system. Firstly, Robert, thank you for joining us this morning.
My pleasure, Natalie.
So, first of all, can you remind members, please, on what the EES actually is and what its
Yes,
purpose is,
I
please?
can. The purpose of the EES is to monitor the movement of people into and out of the territory of the EU. And it links with another system called ETIAS, which confirms that the traveller is exempt from visa requirements. There's 36, 37 countries, of which UK is one of them. And so if you're going to go to Europe for at least a short-term visit, you don't need the visa. If you were going to go to work, you would. And that's really it. So if you like, one is a P2P, permission to progress, and the other one keeps an eye on where people are, because this links up with the 90 and 180-day rule, which is somebody can go to the EU without a work permit or without a full work visa for 90 days in a 180-day period.
Sure. So, since we last spoke, can you tell us more about the changes that have taken place?
Yeah, there's a couple of things. The first is that the go live date for the EES has been announced for the 12th of October. Um, the other thing is, one of our main concerns was that everything had to be done at the, if you like, at the port or the airport or the rail terminal. And having been through St Pancras recently, I can tell you it's pretty full. So another process would be quite difficult to accommodate, I think. Um, so certainly, doing everything at the terminal is going to be difficult. But there's an organisation called Frontex, which is one of these EU things, which is actually the European Border and Coast Guard Agency. And they've developed a mobile application, which means you can um, create your EES away from the terminal, which we think is a good idea. It's not mandatory for all member states to adopt, but just looking at my notes, um, Sweden has certainly expressed an interest, Holland, Hungary, Greece, and Portugal. The big one for us is obviously to try and get the French involved.
Sure. So, in preparation for the implementation, is there anything our members need to be doing?
I would suggest just keep an eye on the links that you are going to put
Mhm.
into the
Description?
description. That's the word. Or conversation, whatever you want to call it, after this. The other thing which perhaps we should think about is whether or not there needs to be a derogation for commercial drivers not to actually be covered by this 90 and 180-day rule. So if any member has actually got a view on this, if they email me at r.windsor@biffa.org, we'll keep an eye on those.
Fantastic. Robert, thank you very much for sharing your update.
My pleasure, Natalie, as always.
As Robert explained, further information is available online. We'll pop those details and Robert's email address in the description below. That's all for today's episode of B for TV, your daily dose of industry information.